To have faith in God is not a stagnant state, it's a journey. As believers, we should grow in our knowledge of God and His Word. Walk with Alan Cutting and many other believers as we walk the believer's journey.
Aloha, and welcome to the Believer's Journey. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I believe we have a really special program today. I have Radu and Liuda Cucos from Moldova with us, and this is a real blessing and a privilege. First off, I want to thank everyone who joins us. I want to thank everyone who prays for our ministry, who supports our ministry, whether in watching our videos, commenting, writing us, or financial. I want to thank our sponsors, Choice Benefits. I want to thank Guerrero CPA and Guerrero Law, as well as Trade Show Displays. So I want to thank everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I ask if you would do that. That would be really nice. So as we get going, I want to introduce Radu and Liuda for the umpteenth time. They've been on our program so much. It's like, actually, they are part, we work with them while we're in Moldova. So it's kind of like a real privilege to have them here with us today. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about the meaning of marriage. Is going to be the second half of our program. We're going to talk about this as our Bible topic. But first we want to talk about your ministry and what you're doing, what you're going to be doing, and how you see everything working in Moldova with you and your ministry.
Yeah, so we work with Campus Crusade for Christ for 26 years already, full-time ministry. So during the years, we did student ministry, ministry with teachers and churches, and what else? We did many things during 26 years. So probably the last 9 years, I've been leading a team that was internal ministry for our staff, taking care, different processes, accepting new staff, developing staff, training new staff. So all of that was on our team, and Liuda was beside me all of this time. So that's what we were doing in the last probably since we last have been here.
So you say Liuda was by your side all this time. Are you saying you couldn't do it without her?
Well, some moments, maybe not. Who knows? She was there, so.
And I understand, Liuda, you are working with women's ministry. Talk about that.
Yes, last year I joined a team who are working with women, and there is a lot of needs for women to understand their identity in Christ and to be free from false beliefs and to influence this world in good way, in God's way. So we are training women, giving them resources, helping them to understand how they are made by God's design, and how wonderful God may use every woman in this world if she is willing to be led by Holy Spirit.
Now, I know that when we were in Moldova, you literally left for the day. And I don't know how many hours away you drive, but you drive and come back at night. So what's it like? I mean, you're literally leaving town.
Mm-hmm. So my friends and I, we help a group of women from the south of Moldova. This is the village Badicu, and there is a group of women. They are leaders, and they wanted to learn more from the Bible. They wanted to go deeper in God's word. And my friends and I, we once in 2 weeks are visiting them and helping them to learn more, to do Bible study deeper. And we do discipleship with them, teaching them how to do discipleship with others, how to influence their community in the village. And it takes more than a half a day because of for trip, time for Bible study, time for tea. Sure, we need to eat together because we are Moldovan and nothing can happen without food and tea. We spend time together, so it is good time for us. We are growing up also helping others, and they are growing, and we are excited to see how God is changing their hearts and their relationship with Jesus.
And Radu, so you're really involved with, I guess you both are involved, and your whole family is involved with the church, God Space. Talk about that a little bit. Both of you have because your children are involved with this too. So talk about this.
Well, while we were doing the ministry with crew, so of course we had new believers, and we really wanted to have a church that will follow the good teaching, discipleship, and so in 2011, we started this church called God's Space. And there was a reason why God Space. So at that time, many of us were reading a book called God Space, written by Doug Pollock. And so the idea of the book was to see where God is working, but God is working everywhere. And so just to jump in the work that God is doing in people's life, and to be a light for everyone. So it doesn't matter if they are believers or not believers. Every good thing comes from God. And so therefore we can be alongside with God doing his work. So that was the main idea of God's Space. And therefore we really like it, the idea of being such a church that it's not just coming in a building, having the meeting, and then going home. That's it. So, but to learn how we can influence the neighbors, friends, colleagues, at university, schools, work, wherever, And so for last 15 years already, I'm part of the leadership of this church. But my focus is on two things: discipleship and family ministry. However, we have a lot of young people in the church. Some of them started to date, and we saw that, Luda, we have to jump in this and to help them to learn God's design for marriages and not to do mistakes before their marriage. So we call this program, save your marriage before it starts. We saw in a book and we kind of like this name, and it seems that young people like it too. So we do in our church helping strengthening marriages, helping young people to understand marriage before they start the marriage. We don't do much counseling because I believe that is kind of high level, but we do more mentoring. Yeah.
Okay. I know that because you both are really involved in family ministry in Moldova, this is really important to you in your church, and because you also have two boys that are becoming of marriage age. Is that a good way to say it?
All right.
and one is really close.
Yeah, one is really
so
close.
This now has become important to you, really, in a big way.
Yeah, we are in our new stage of life, seeing how our boys are becoming men. Mm-hmm. They are starting to try their adult, independent lives. And the oldest one started to date, and he has very cute and sweet girlfriend. I like her a lot. She is special, yeah. And we were wondering how can we help him in such a way that he would receive our help, because not every time kids are willing to accept parents' advices. and we saw our young couples in our church. So we saw a need, and we just jumped in this need, helping new couples or young couples to understand how their dates may be in such a way that they will not be ashamed of their dates.
You know, when we were there in Moldova a few months ago, I was sitting with Emmanuel and asking him about learning about becoming a husband, learning about what is to be, in that position. And he says, "Oh, my parents have been teaching me, and I've been learning since I was a little boy."
Right.
I'm like, wow, that gives a lot of credit to you guys, because it's not like, oh no, he's 18, he's seeing something, we better do something now and scramble. No, it's been ongoing. And I thought coming from him, not you, was really special. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really good thing.
Maybe they learned a lot being at our seminars. In the past, we organized many seminars for married couples, and we did it with a romantic dinner. And sometimes we didn't have enough financial support to make it fancy at the restaurant, and we just ordered some food, and we asked young boys, young people from our church to help us, to be our waiters during the dinner. So our sons came and helped, and during the seminar they were listening what we were teaching married couples. So it was, I guess, a good lesson for them, for their future also.
That's really good, especially since you have another boy on his own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a daughter now 16, turning 17. Isn't there a song, I am 16? Never mind.
Well, this part probably for me is easier, having two boys and preparing them for their marriage. Probably it's easier. It's easier to talk to them, like man to man. Anyway, I put on them more than on girls because they are future husbands. And I say that you are future husbands. You have to lead your family. You have to have a strong character. You have to work on your character. You have to do this work, not because, I don't have work to do, therefore I'm asking you, but it's like preparing you for, being independent. However, I don't know how it will work with our girls.
Well,
that is something different for me.
I speak a lot with them about relationships and marriage and about their future husbands. And I speak with them just how they should be as personalities, as characters, and how it may help them in their future being wives and moms also.
And actually, it's been good since we've had your girls stay with us. Mm-hmm. I've had a few talks with Elmira because she kind of likes this boy, and then she kind of talks about, well, I can't date until I'm 18. This is why not? Because my dad said so. And I said, well, you probably don't want to really think about marriage till you graduate from university anyway. So, but we talk about what it is to be in a relationship. So she actually opened up to me. It was really kind of nice.
Well, because maybe I'll say this, I don't believe in dating just for dating. So we didn't do that. I was, maybe somebody will consider me conservative, but for me, I don't know where I learned that I'll go to date just if I'm ready to get married. If I'm not ready to get married, I'm not ready to take responsibility. So no, I decided not to date. So with Luda, I was ready. So therefore, I asked her for dating, and then after 10 months, we got married. So therefore, I'm telling my kids that don't date just for fun.
Wait, 10 months Do you hear that, Emmanuel? Go ahead.
Yeah.
His case is different.
Well, you're telling him 2 years, and so now you're saying 10 months. That's pretty
We
interesting.
graduated university at that time. We got.
Well, he graduates in a few months.
Yeah.
I lived apart from my parents since I was 15. So I had enough time to learn. I usually say to make these connections in my brain, how to take care for me, how to wash my clothes, how to find food, all of
How to cook.
How to cook, yeah. So all of those things, when I asked Luda to date with me, so I was prepared already. So I was making my money. But he's still with us. So therefore, I'm telling him that, well, you have to experience this time without us, like not counting on us, but counting on yourself, not yourself, but, learning how to live with God in new situations, preparing your character for being a husband.
Why I'm bringing up a lot of this in the family dynamics, especially with children and parents and marriage and dating and these things, is because I believe, and being in Moldova, the fact that Susan and I were able to work with you and Luda, the two of you, a lot in the seminars we were doing together, made me really, I was really cool. I loved it. And it was the fact that we got to work together was wonderful. But a lot of times we talk about ministry and what we're doing in the church or in Campus Crusade or with our student ministries or family ministries, but a lot of people don't talk about their family. And one of the problems, and you know this because we've been talking to pastors and ministers about this, is the lack of engagement that pastors and people have with their children, with their wives, with their family. And I'm wanting to impress on our audience how much you really do engage with your children and with each other.
Well, however, I do mistakes.
Well, no, but everybody does that. I mean, that's the point. I mean, even Elmira talks about how sometimes you come in, you Bible talks and studies. So, and you pray together. And so basically, I know there's pastors that don't do this. So I'm just saying that it's important because coming from the United States, for example, and having to sponsor or support missionaries and pastors and so forth, we think about the work they're doing, but it's important also the work that they're doing in their family. And watching you have 4 children and they're being raised up in the Lord. Not just in a Christian home, but in the Lord. You're raising them in the Lord, and you're teaching them, very good principles that are biblical principles. And I think that's really important. The fact that you have a Bible study with your son who doesn't live with you every weekend is phenomenal. It's impressive. And talking to him, I talked to Daniel for a long time. And he says, I have a better relationship with my father than I ever did when I lived here because we sit there and we really talk now and we're able to study. And he just, I know he comes home for food. I mean, you're the best cook in Moldova, right?
Well, he misses us also.
but
Not just food.
But anytime he says, would you like to come over? He's over. Well,
We use food for many meetings to have people there, so that is okay.
So I just wanted to say how, it's to impress upon the people who watch this program or listen to the program, how important it is that ministers take the time to really build their family in the Lord. Because if they don't do that and they lose their family, they shouldn't be in the ministry.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'd like to say something this. So it's not easy. I know that it's not easy. So like having our kids being teenagers, it was a hard time, like adjusting, convincing them, talking to them, these emotions up and down. I was disappointed many times that it's not going as I wish to go, or I to see, So sometimes Bible study didn't work. Sometimes it worked well. Sometimes we had to laugh a lot before we were making Bible studying. And so, but for me, it's still important their future, how kind of man and woman they can be. So therefore, I still don't give up. Yes, I consider that I did many mistakes, and sometimes I got angry that it's not working as I wish. So I had to put my wishes behind and, to learn to listen them. Sometimes to apologize for maybe some moments that I didn't do well. Because that is relationship.
Oh yeah, that's the way it works.
And I think for Radu and for me, it's very important not just to teach others how to make their marriages or families better. We have to practice first in our marriage everything what we are going to teach others. And we have to practice everything what we learn.
Oh, and I probably know as much or more than most people who know you too. I mean, we spend a lot of intimate time together. I mean, we really have. And so we get to watch you and Luda and the stuff you go through, and you get to watch me and Susan, the stuff we go through, so we've seen this.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, talking to your girls and saying, well, yeah, Dad, he's real strict. But Mom, she's the boss. I mean, it's so funny. And I have to comment on this because as I have watched you through the years, I know that you have a wife that's close to a prophetess. I mean, she stands up and there's something wrong. No, she's very firm about what is right and wrong. Am I right or wrong here? You are.
Well, Radu may confirm. Even today.
But it's so funny because I know as a husband and father and all this, the mistakes are just always there. And what's so funny, and I don't know how much you know about this, but when we're at your house or we've been on vacation or something, and Radu comes in and he's all upset. He goes, "What's the matter?" Luda's mad at me. I says, "Why?" "Because I said something stupid." I said, "So what? You have to apologize?" "Yeah." So and we both go through this. We probably all go through this.
Right.
But it's about the growing in the relationship and so forth. And I think it's important because you're so right, Luda. You teach this stuff, but you have to live it. How can it be effective if you can't have it effective here in your own home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we want to be examples for other people in bad and good. Well, bad, I mean that, we have our struggles. And we are open to talk about our struggles, not to present our marriage as something perfect. However, I like to say that our marriage is perfect because even we go through struggles, we know how to fix it. So therefore, it's perfect marriage.
We learn how to fix it. We had hard times when we didn't know how to fix it. And we wished to have somebody to mentor us and to help us. And at that time, we didn't have anybody who could help us. So we saw a need for ourselves, and we tried to fulfill this need to others for other couples.
Well, and I think, and we're going to talk about this in the second half of our program, a lot of it has to do with honor. When I was telling Susan this one time, when I look at Luda, when I look at you, when you were looking at Radu, your eyes are sparkling. I'm so in love. It looks like that, like you really love Radu. I mean, it just, period. And that is telling. That is really significant. And I think that's a really big thing. And I know, because Radu and I have spent so much time, how much he adores you and thinks you're just amazing. And I think you're amazing. And so basically, the two of you are just probably the closest to my heart of anybody I know in the world.
Susan?
So basically, it's, the time that Susan and I spend with you guys, the time I spend with you guys is just precious. You know, it's just so precious. And I think what you do in the ministry is, I know a lot of people do a lot of things in the ministry. A lot of people have leadership or non-leadership, and they do what they do. But watching you in the, how many years now? 17, 16,
Whoa.
17 years?
It'll be 17.
17 years. But really watching you in the last 15 years, I guess, closer, it's just, I'm so impressed with your concern that you are honoring God in your personal life and in your ministry and in your married life and home life. It's just really cool to see what you do in the ministry with Campus Crusade, and then outside of Campus Crusade, when, hey, we have this home church, can you come and lead it? And you say, okay. I mean, you know, it's just really kind of nice that you reach out, the women's ministry that you're doing. It's hard on your family when you take off and do. Radu has to cook.
But he's a good cook.
And the girls they start doing things when you're gone. And I just think, you know, you've got this machine working that's wonderful in your home and outside your home, in your church. I mean, you've got a son who's playing the guitar for your worship team. You're leading worship team. You know, I was talking to Elmira, or no, was it Yana? Yana, I said, you got a really pretty voice. You should sing. Oh,
Yeah.
she's afraid, you know,
Yeah.
but she does have a pretty voice.
Right.
And I think, you know, it's going to graduate to that because of the way you're raising your children. Daniel, involved in teens. I mean, that guy's a character. I mean, the fact that he translated for me when I was there for Target Life, that was special. That was really, and he did a good job. And I got to tease him while I was doing it. You know, I tease Kenneth.
These translators.
And for a 21-year-old kid, that's pretty good, you know.
Oh, he's a smart guy.
Yeah. So, you know, you do a lot of work in the ministry. You really have done a lot of work in a lot of areas. Student ministry, you do it in the church ministry, women's ministry, family ministry, you do counseling, marriages and stuff. And you do so above and beyond from other people that I know, other missionaries that I know, that I lift you up on this pedestal, maybe a little too high.
Too high, yeah.
Okay, a little too high sometimes. But you know, to me, there's no one that compares to what you guys do in comparison. I'm not saying that, oh, they're a leader and you're below that. No, I'm talking about in compass of all things you do, you seem to have things, whether you do it, make a mistake or not, you know where it's at, and you really do what you need to do to honor each other, honor God, honor your family, and honor your friends. I think that's just really amazing what you do.
Well, we are just Jesus' servants, and we do what we're supposed to do. He called us to share the gospel, to do discipleship, and to be authentic in our walking with Him. And so we are looking for His Holy Spirit's guidance, and it's all. So just to be authentic in everything.
And that includes your children.
Right, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't include their children, but you include your children. You know, I think it's a big thing.
I don't want to have all the world influenced by myself and to lose my children. They are my first area where I should influence for God's kingdom. And after that, I can influence all the world.
Yeah. You about to say something?
No, I agree with yours.
They are our first disciples. Who should we help to be closer to Jesus and have Him?
However, discipling your own children is not the same as discipling other people. So with other people, you can set a time so you're focused to, you know, that specific time, and so you maybe studying the Bible or talking about the walking with Jesus. But with children, you know, you cannot you can't set just a time, like sit here, I'll talk to you. Every time when I try to do that, it didn't work as I expected.
Well, and they see your mistakes. They really see your mistakes. And,
Oh, yeah.
and your mistakes, a lot of times, are with them. It's
Well,
not like you made a mistake over there. It's like you made a mistake with them, and that emotion hits them really hard. And so to have an effect on them positively as you make mistakes with them is really delicate.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not that easy. But you know, I've learned, like with Susan and I have learned, and you guys seem to have the same thing, where you have your strength and you have your strength and you have your weakness and you have a little bit of weakness.
I do.
And recognizing that in each other, you know, sometimes I'll ask Susan, you need to go do this, and she'll go, well, why? Because you're better at it than I am. You know, it's just that I'm not good at this and you are. And, you know, and so recognizing that you're not all powerful, all smart, all great, you know, that you have weakness, and your spouse, it takes that up, you know, fills that in for you. I think and I think you've discovered it, you know. Susan and I are trying to discover that.
You know, usually people say that grandparents are better than parents. Probably I know why. Because you do all of mistakes that you can do with your children, then when you are a grandfather or mother, so you don't repeat the same mistakes, you know, and you kind of better with your grandchildren.
Yeah. And especially last year, I learned the connection between truth, love, and time. And all together has to be covered by grace. So I apply this in my relationship with everybody. Everybody needs love, but love without truth is not real life. Love. Yeah. And connecting love and truth and giving grace to people, we have to wait. We have to be patient, to give time to people to understand mistakes or sins and to grow up. Everything needs time. Even when you are growing cucumbers and you are growing oaks. Cucumbers grow in a few months, but oaks grow in years to be strong and big trees. Yeah. So people, well, man, woman, any child need time to be grown in love and truth. And so in this way, they can be strong in their walking with Jesus and their characters and in their lives.
You know, I have to tell you, Luda, I tell other people this, how you amaze me, because when I've seen you stand up when things just weren't said right or needed to be said, or just things weren't perfectly correct or whatever, you have a way of standing up and saying, no, this is the truth. This is what it needs to be. And you're very strong and adamant about it. You understand? Adamant. You're forceful about it.
Well, people are fighting for many stuff and things. And once I was impressed how full of energy they can be for something that they truly believe. And I thought, well, I believe the right things. I believe God. I believe His word. And only His word is truth, what lasting every time, forever. So I have to stand for His word, for His truth. So it helps me to be bold in it, and because I believe and I know that this is right.
But not every believer, not every Christian, not every person who has authority does this. And you do this. You take that boldness, and I think that's commendable to you.
Well, this is Holy Spirit's work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I said you're close to being a prophetess, the one who speaks for the truth.
Well, I am not perfect. I am learning this. I am learning from Jesus Christ. He had a purpose coming here on the earth, and He fulfilled this purpose, being obedient to the Father. So I am just following Him, being obedient to our Heavenly Father to do the purpose what He gave me here on the earth.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything else before we step into our topic? Is there anything else you want to talk about in your ministry in Moldova?
Yeah, I'm glad to marry this woman.
Yeah, you're probably the luckiest guy in Moldova. You married the greatest cook, the strongest person, and just really amazing woman.
I'm not lucky. I made a choice.
Right.
So luck is by
I think
chance.
the luck is that she said yes.
He was looking very carefully, I can say. Yeah, he was looking for almost 5 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
A lot of patience.
yeah.
So, is there anything you want to tell our audience about your ministry in Moldova before we move on to our topic?
Well, this is our transitional year for us because we have a heart for family ministry. And there is a reason. So, like for our country, divorce ratio is pretty high, and it gives very great opportunities to share people the good news, and not only good news. So we see that people have to be to learn about how to build a marriage in the way how God designed it. And so even Moldova is considered a Christian country, but I don't hear much speaking about that. So for government, they play their role to register marriages. For Orthodox Church, yeah, they do that. Liturgy for considering somebody married, but we don't see much building families, teaching them how is supposed to develop a relationship that it's good in God's eyes, to express His character in relationship. So therefore, we see that God first brought us together in a marriage, then made us to experience many things, bad and good, and how to move to good things. And now we see that we want to be more involved in that without other assignments in the ministry.
Okay. Well, those of you watching, you may want to look Radu and Liuda up. Across our screen, it shows the contact. If you watching our video in YouTube, you'll also have the links there in our discussion area as well. So do look them up and read their testimonies. I think it's just pretty cool, and all the things that they're doing in the ministry. So let's move on. The meaning of marriage. So you guys are, and I know there's nobody who's really a true expert, so you don't need to correct me on this, but people look to you almost like you're the experts of marriage in Moldova. I know I've referred people to talk to you, and they'll come back to me and says, "Wow, they're just really like Yura, and Olga both have said, you guys are just amazing. You have it together. You understand. You are really there. You should be writing books."
Maybe.
But talk about the meaning of marriage. What is the meaning of marriage? Like the meaning of life. Here, the meaning of marriage. Give us an idea.
Okay, so there was a time when we were married and living like everybody else. So from my experience, I see that almost everyone, like 99.9%, they are getting married because they are selfish. So they want something for themselves. Even when I asked you that to start to date me, and that was my phrase that I said, to date me for marriage, and I mentioned that because I think that you'll be a good wife for me. So anyway, I was thinking about myself, and probably everyone is probably everyone is thinking about themselves, like, okay, this woman will be good for me, this boy will be good for me, so therefore let's get married to have, happiness for me. But we went through our struggles, being selfish, learning that it doesn't work. It brings a lot of pain and suffering and misunderstanding. So I started to study more about marriage, how God designed marriage. And I believe now that it's all on this foundation, how He designed the marriage. If we are following how He designed the marriage, it is easy. So like, I was thinking this morning that I'm in love with her. I love her. And it's easier because I don't think that much about myself. I think more about her needs. Yes, I'm still learning how to understand her needs because they are different than from men's needs. But it comes from how God designed the marriage. So this is one of the topics that we want and we do bring up for couples to understand the meaning of marriage and to focus to what God designed for them being married. Yeah.
Okay. So help me understand what you meant by the meaning of marriage.
Okay, so we learned doing pre-marriage preparation for couples, and we used some materials from Family Life. And so they designed this pretty well, but we made our own studies to understand better this topic. So the first and probably the main meaning of marriage is to reflect God's character in our relationship. So when we go to Genesis, reading about verse 26, first chapter, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish and so on. So this lets us make mankind in our image. So that was a big study for me, like understanding what is the image of God that we have to reflect. And I came to understanding that God is a relational God. And when He says, let's us make a mankind in our image, so He's speaking about relationship. And when we talk about what we have to express in our relationship, so it's love, it's patience, it's forgiveness, it's what we call God's character. Mm-hmm. So when this became clear for me, it's like, oh, now I know what I have to do with this woman. Is to love, is to take care, is to...
ask forgiveness all the time?
Yes, why not? Yeah.
And to forgive also.
In a broken world, we have to ask forgiveness and we have to give forgiveness because we see God is like this. Okay, God is not asking forgiveness because He's holy, but He's giving forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And so learning this, I say, oh, okay, now I understand what is the marriage, how God designed the marriage. It's not to beg forgiveness or kindness, but to focus to myself, to give to her, and in this way to express His image in our relationship. So this is the first meaning of marriage that we see. Mm-hmm. The second is to complement each other. And here, I don't know, in my understanding, there is a little mistake that usually people speak about. So it's like people say that, okay, wife has some gifts, to complement my gifts, which I don't really think about. Because if we go from the first meaning of marriage to express His image in our relationship, it's not about that, she cooks and I eat, let's say.
Okay.
But I believe that to complement each other, that, and there is this word that is the perfect helper, yeah? So having her in my life, so I have someone to love. I have someone to forgive. I have someone to take care. I have someone to express his character in the relationship. So I was thinking this morning that one of the punishment in a prison, is to put in a single cell. And I learned that, people get crazy, they have some mental disease, and even people die without relationship.
Right.
Yeah, and so God, being relational, He created us being relational, and He created woman to express relationship. If there will not be a woman, so probably will die, being lonely. So that is the second meaning of marriage. And the third, usually people say to give birth to children. However, we see this image the same in the third part of the third meaning. We like to call it multiplying God's image. Because there is something unique and special when you become a father or a mother. So you may know about mother and father, having a mother and a father, but there is totally different when you have a child, and to express God's character in the relationship with that child, which is kind of unique. So when Emmanuel, our first son, was born, for Luda was a different experience because she was pregnant, not me. But when I was holding that, small baby, first I couldn't believe that I am a father already. But I was thinking so we love this child, and so far he did nothing good for us. So he hurt my wife. He was born and crying, and there are different nights without sleeping well, and all of those troubles that come with a child. But we love him. Yeah, we love him. And at that time, I understood God more. How He treats us, how He takes care of us, how He expresses His character in our relationship. So we see these three meanings of marriage: expressing God's character in our relationship. And let's say that when we cause to each other some difficulties, so then is the time to express God's character, forgiving or listening or, forgetting about your selfishness. It's also God's character. And when I learned, I don't know about Luda, but when I learned this, it was much, much easier to love Luda.
Yeah. It's, I believe that it's really important. What you're saying is absolutely correct. I think it's really true. I think that also when we look at our spouse, one thing that we tend to forget in a marriage is how to honor one another, how to respect one another. Sometimes we say things to our spouse that is easily mean or not totally wonderful because they're there. You don't ever do it outside the walls, but you tend to do it with your spouse. And so I know there are times when Susan will do something and she say, "Will you forgive me?" I says, "Well, there's no question about forgiveness. I don't have to forgive you. There's no unforgiveness." And sometimes I think getting to that level is even a bigger challenge, that I don't have to hold something against you. You're automatically okay. So I think there's even more of a walk. I have to say it was really nice working with you and Luda when we went on those areas that we did seminars. That was fun. 3 hours. 3 hours of seminar. Yeah. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Susan really enjoyed it. And I think that it's really good. And it's really nice to see that you're working with crosslinks and other areas, because that shows that you really want to be used of God.
Well, because there is one church, there are not many churches. Yeah, there are many local churches. And again, thinking about local church is about relationship. So it's not just coming to church and going. So you have to build relationship, because that is the way how you express God's character or God's image in relationship with other people. So probably Jacob was this book and is speaking about this. So how you can say that you love God, whom you don't see, but you don't love your James, but you don't love your brother who is like next to you. So that is true for church too. But well, in marriage there is something more. So that intimacy, sexual intimacy, which goes not just for bodies, but it goes deeply in how God designed us, our soul, our heart, our mind, our spirit. So it's connected to each other. And I'm telling people, like, the word that usually people describe when there is an affair or divorce is betraying. Mm-hmm. And because, when people come in this close intimacy, deep intimacy, probably it's a correct word expressing affair or divorce. But anyway, so I believe that God designed this for marriages to enjoy it, not to suffer, but to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because there are times when Susan and I will be in a discussion. And as she gets really upset and maybe even cry, I'll stop and I say, "Do you want a hug?" And the first time I did that, she was like, "What?" And it's like, well, just because I'm upset with you doesn't mean I don't care. Doesn't mean I don't love you. So, I want a hug. So I'll give her a hug, tell her I love her. And I says, "Okay, let's get back to it." And I want to finish the discussion because I don't want to end it without an end. Mm-hmm. But I want her to know that I'm not doing this because I'm angry and don't like her, but that I care.
I'm telling Luda sometimes, like, if I don't care about it, if I'll not care about you, I'll not be worried, I'll not be sad, like, do whatever you want. But because I care for our relationship, sometimes I'm mad. Well, I can be mad for different things. But probably first one is because I don't understand how to keep this intimacy, like I feel that I'm guilty, I did something stupid, I try to protect myself, I'm trying to make me looking better, and so I'm using words like pretending that she's the one that is guilty.
So there was something that when we did our seminar, something I have in my seminar, I want to read this because I don't want to say it wrong. But in Ephesians chapter 5 and also in 1 Peter chapter 3, they talk about marriage and the responsibility or the role of the husband and the role of the wife. And then, especially in Ephesians, he kind of sums it up in a little sentence about respect and honor. But something that I say, it's really important to understand, because as believers, we really want to honor Jesus. I mean, like you said, it's all about serving him. It's all about honoring him. It's all about pleasing him. It's all about becoming like him, really, is what it is. So in all this love and respect, what does it mean? And this is what I say. There's three things. It means to be true to the Lord Jesus and honor him. Okay. It means to be true to and honor the scriptures. Okay. And finally, it needs to be true and honor your spouse. And I think that a lot of times we don't think about the honor aspect of things in the marriage. It's like, oh yeah, you're home. Okay, well, food's in the kitchen. And it's not a big deal, but honoring is like, oh, you're home. It's just like to make them feel special, to let them know that you're special to them. They're special to you, rather. I think that idea of honoring, knowing that what they have to say has value to you.
This is a very good moment. So there's moments or things that we don't like in our spouses, which I didn't like in Luda. So she's very kind with people. And sometimes I think that she's more kind with other people than with me.
She must be related to Susan.
Yeah. Then I saw that it brings, this disagreement all the time. So thinking about God's design for marriage, so I started to accept how God designed Luda with your gifts, with your strength, being a woman, which is very, very different than the man, and to accept that, believing and accepting that is from God. So I didn't design her. I didn't make her. I didn't build her, but God gave something special for her. And I know that usually people speak here about complementing each other, which is good, is correct, but I want to go beyond that. That okay, God designed her in a way that is very different than we men are. And again, to express His character, His image in our relationship. So I had to learn, and I still have to learn how God designed her, to accept that, and as you said, to honor that. Maybe it's not like me, and that is good, but learning how to take what Luda is and to put in oneness with me, not separated from me, but oneness with me.
Mm-hmm. To be connected to me and
Yes.
to grow in our intimacy.
Right.
This is his goal, I think, for every image, to grow in intimacy. Like Jesus is very close to his church, and the same, his church is honoring and longing for intimacy with Jesus. So in the same way, relationship between husband and wife is growing in intimacy.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. It's and there's nothing like the intimacy between a husband and a wife. There's nothing like it. I think that's so important. And I think that when we are, and like you said, we are made in His image. What is His image? And we're looking at His character.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that when we look at Ephesians chapter 5, verses like 21 or 22 all the way to 33, Paul is talking about, especially to the husbands, and I put the heavy on the husbands too, about them bringing out the character of his wife, bringing out that idea of honoring of the very image of the church, which is supposed to be that which is of Christ, of God's character. That's our responsibility. And I think that that's a big thing and a good thing, because we want us to live in that character and grow in Jesus, becoming like Jesus, and we want our spouse to do the same thing. And we are supposed to be actually helping one another to become like Jesus.
Yes. But first, I have to work on my character to be like Jesus.
Well, it's true, but you can't just work on you and not your wife either. I mean, you have to work together as well.
Right. But, I probably will never work on some moments of my character to be like Jesus if she wasn't in my life. Because even she brought some troubles, let's say troubles for me, that were, that were the moments to show me that my character is not like Jesus' character. And so that brought like the light to, oh, okay, so I don't like this. I'm, let's say, blaming you, or I'm harsh with you. So that are lights for me to know that, okay, here I have to work with the Holy Spirit to adjust my character to be like Jesus' character.
And on that note, we've got to end the program.
Oh, so fast.
I know, it's really fast, wasn't it? We have a lot more to say. Well, I want to thank you for coming. This is really, really special. And but for all of you, have a wonderful day. If you have anything to say or you have questions, please write them below, or write an email, or however you want to respond or correspond with us. And everyone, you have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful time. We'll see you next time. Aloha.